right. Everybody's got their foam roller? And you've been waiting on me? So let's get into this. Get into this class. All right, you got your foam roller, you got your massage balls. If you have massage balls, if you don't have massage balls, I have Amazon links on my shop page, on my website, or in the bio. So you can grab some massage balls. Highly recommend. They're small and portable, and when you travel, when we are able to travel again, you can take them anywhere. So let's get into our lower back area, neck. Okay, we're gonna do a little neck too. So let's start with the lower back. Someone did request this last week. We're gonna start in this area. So a lot of times people feel this tension right through here, like this kind of just feels compressed and tight, and that's pretty common. So we're going to get right near the spine in this muscle. It's going to dip down, and we're going to massage right next to the spine in that muscle. So grab your roller. We're going to place it in that lower back area. So you're just going to lean back to where you feel along the spine, and then just start to roll up and down. So just massaging that out, rolling up and down. And you can feel we're not on the spine, but right along the spine. And it kind of dips, there's a little valley there, and you're just going to roll up and down. Should feel really nice. And then pause and rock front to back. And that's where you might actually feel that tenderness quite a bit as you rock front to back. Okay, then slowly move and switch sides. So you guys can just shift on over to the other side. I'll change around so you can see it. Hello. We're doing some foam rolling. So grab your foam roller and stretching. So grab that foam roller and get on the floor and start rolling that lower back out. So again, we're just rolling up and down along the spine. There's it's QL, the muscles, the abbreviation is called QL, and it's our hip lift muscle. So if you tend to cross your legs a lot while you sit, or while you stand, you're jutting one hip out a lot, that hip can kind of get hyped up and that muscle can get shortened and compressed. All right, now we're just going to rock side to side. Yes. Give me a thumbs up if you like this move. It feels nice. And that QL. And it's also that where you might feel like a little crooked, like you are standing not quite with good posture. This is one of the muscles that kind of makes you feel that way. So rocking front to back here. All right, so continue to do that. I'm going to go into a move with the massage balls. If you do not have the massage balls, just go back to the other side with the roller and continue to massage this area out. If you have the massage balls, you're going to place them right in the lower back area. So we're going to get along these erector muscles and massage that out, and it feels so good. So place it right under your spine. Stay on your elbows. You're going to stay lifted, and then you're going to lift your butt up a little bit and roll up and down right on that lower back area, and it feels amazing. Now, if you don't have the massage balls, again, highly recommend that you get them. And then just continue to foam roll, switch sides, what we were doing in that first move. So if you don't have the massage balls, no worries. Just continue to foam roll the lower back area. So we're rolling up and down. It feels really nice. You're going to pause, bring your butt down, and move your legs side to side. Massaging it out. And then move to a different spot. Repeat that. Go side to side. Massage it out. Move to a different spot and repeat. Massaging it out. And then slowly come off. So if you're still foam rolling, let's go ahead and slowly come off that. and then move on to more stuff for the lower back. Take your foam roller. I would recommend a soft roller for this. The hard rollers are pretty cool when we do our quads. So we're going to do one leg at a time. Move your roller over to the right side, so to one leg, and you're going to place the roller right above the knee. We're going to hit the quad 3 times. We're going to go bottom, middle, and top. We'll start at the bottom. You're just going to roll a third of the way up and then back. So small roll up and down. And I always appreciate everybody that joins in. Hope you get something good out of this class. Much appreciated. And then pause and kick your foot towards your butt a few times. This can be quite intense. So again, a softer roller is nice. If you don't have a softer roller, you have one of those black rollers, roll your roller up in a yoga mat, and it won't be, because if you're tensing up, that kind of defeats the purpose. We want you to be able to relax while you're doing this. So if you find yourself tensing, back off a little bit. Let's move that roller to the middle of the thigh now. We're going to roll up and down. So there's that fine line where it feels a little tender, that's fine. But you go past that point and you're sending those pain signals to your brain. That's not a good response to have. It's actually alerting the sympathetic nervous system like, hey, something's wrong here. And your body, it gives in that fight and flight mode. So we want to calm the body down. That helps make the pain go away. All right, and then pause and kick your foot towards your butt. All right, let's hit that one more time. I know this is an intense one, but we're almost finished with this leg, so go ahead and roll towards the top of the leg, up and down, and then pause and kick towards your butt. And then slowly come off that leg and switch sides. So I'm probably going to run out of room here. I'm going to stay in this direction. Switching legs, move that roller over to the left side. And then start right above your knee. And we're going to roll up and down. And like you see this other leg, I'm kicking it out, taking some weight off. If you want to come up onto the hands, that takes some weight off as well. So just do the best you can without tensing up. And then pause and kick towards your butt. Good, I'm glad you guys are liking this one. Or maybe you're not. Maybe you're actually giving me thumbs down. Thank you, thank you. All right, and then you move to the middle of the thigh. And this is actually a very good one for the lower back because we're indirectly getting the hip flexors, which attach to the inside of your spine. So when you sit a lot, drive a car a lot, you're in that same 90-degree position, your hip flexors tend to get weak and tight, and they can pull on the lower back, pull on the spine. Right, kick towards your butt. So very important to keep these nice and relaxed and loose. And then let's hit that top spot of the leg. Last part. Rolling up and down. And at any point you guys have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. And then pause and kick towards your butt. So my method, I'm sure other people's method too, I like to loosen the tissue up and then go into the stretching. So that's what we're doing. We're calming the system down, loosening the tissue up. You should feel a little looser after just doing those things. I want to go into some neck stuff. I'm going to show you 2 things here. I like the balls for the neck. I think they work exceptionally well. The roller okay for it. Not as it's not as a favorite of mine, but I do prefer the balls, and I actually do prefer the bigger balls. So let me get my goodies here. So these are the bigger, the plus size yoga tune-up balls. I really, really like these. They are perfect for getting in behind the neck. So I'm going to, again, show two options for the neck. I'm going to start with the balls. It's just honestly balls too. So go ahead, place your head behind, on top of the balls. This is a very small movement. You're doing a little scoot, so you might lift the hips up slightly and just do a small roll. Now, if you have the small balls, that works too. With the roller, you're not going to be able to do this quite as well. So I'm gonna start you on that one. Show you something with the roller. Again, soft roller for the neck. So here, you just turn to the side. You're going to lift up and try to roll a little bit up and down for the neck. The balls just work so much better for the neck. So continue with the balls, and you got your roller option if you've got a roller. So we're going up and down, and then you're going to pause. And if you want the hips up, that's fine. If you want more weight, you don't have to have them up. And then turn the head side to side, and that really gets in there nicely. Now, if you're on a roller, you're going to have to do one side at a time. So you're going to turn the head side to side on the roller. And then when you're finished with the one side, you're going to flip it over to the other side and do that. And with the balls, now move to a different spot. You're working up towards up the neck. Roll a little bit up and down. Pause and turn side to side. If you have lacrosse balls, you can use 2 lacrosse balls. You can put them in a sock. You can tape them up, whatever little contraption you got there. You can use tennis balls as well. You could just hold them, I guess. But if you tape them up or put them in a sock, that works a little bit better. Or just invest in a pair of these because they're really great to have. So just massage that out. If you're using the roller, go ahead, switch sides. If you have it, switch sides and work the side up and down, and then you're going to turn the head side to side on the roller. So just work that a little bit and then slowly come off. So that's a really nice one for the neck to release that tension in the neck. Okay, we got a comment here. Aha, so yes, you have the Jessica, you got the balls. Yeah, they're wonderful. Okay. So Jessica actually won a pair of balls because I did a mobility challenge not too long ago, and I got to see her, meet her in person, and give her the balls in February. So that was cool. Okay, so moving on. So we released some stuff. I like to also train your tissue to respond to be a little more elastic. So how do we do that? We're going into what probably familiar to a lot of you guys. We've always been told never to do this type of stretching. It's called ballistic stretching, but I like to call it elasticity training. So we're going to be really safe about this. You're only going to go to a slight stretch. You're going to let the body spring you back safely. So you're going to step forward with one leg. Now I'm going to turn to the side. And you're just going to pulse forward. So what you're going to feel is you're going to on 1 second stretches. You're going to feel this little stretch in here. You just let it spring you back. We're going to do that 20 times. So it's opening up the front of the hip, which is directly connected to the lower back. And again, very gentle. Warming up the tissue, training it to become a little more elastic. Now, if your back is fairly healthy, you can add on, you can incorporate the arms. So you can bring the arms back. So that's going to incorporate more front line, front of the body, stretching. So feel free to do that, but if that hurts, you don't do it. And again, it's very gentle. You go to that slight stretch, and then you let the body spring back. We're doing that 20 times. Good. And now we're going to hit the more groin, medial hamstring. So right in here, similar here, we're just going to go at a slight angle and repeat, and you should feel a little bit of a stretch in this area. Great. Get some thumbs up. Yeah. And again, we're just going to repeat it 20 times. Now, this can make you sore. If 10 times is good for you, you do it 10 times. The number depends on you. Hey, thanks for coming. We're doing some thumb roll stretching for the lower back, specifically the lower back today. So, hopefully you're joining in. Grab that foam roller and the mat. Switch sides. Oh, actually, we're done with the foam rolling, but if you're watching the replay, then grab your foam roller. So 20 times on the other side. Hope everybody's hanging in there. I know it's very challenging these days and all kinds of emotions, ups and downs, and sticking to routine is super hard. So I'm really happy you guys have logged on and joining me today. Good. Okay, now we're going to go back to the hip flexors, the front of the hip, and loosen those up again. So we're going to do these twice. Again, if you have a healthy lower back and you can extend the arms, feel free to go there. If not, you're just going to stay here and open up the front of the hip. And again, we're aiming for 20. Certainly not necessary to do 20. And if you have issues getting into this kneeling position, you can always feel free to do these standing. You just, the leg's not going to be bent. You can stand and you can repeat here. So similar motion. And then switch legs. There's always alternative. Always alternative. So we can stay here. Can't get to the ground, sit on the couch. Do this on the couch or on your bed. That works too. So it's elevated up. But hopefully you're trying to get stronger to be able to get up and down off the floor because that's an important movement. Hey, Mary. Good to see you all logged on. All right, now let's go into the medial hamstring. Stepping forward, should feel a little bit of a stretch in the helix area. And just repeat. Again, you're only going to that slight stretch, and let's bring you back. We're kind of staying low. We're not going full range of motion like back and forth, back and forth. Just a nice little spring. Just a nice little spring. Stay safe. Don't go too far into that stretch because it can, you can hurt yourself stretching. Just like anything else. You gotta be careful. Be mindful. And then switch sides. So going into the 1 second stretches. Thanks for joining, guys. Stretching for our lower back today. I'm trying to repeat these about 20 times. Really improves the elasticity of our tissue. We don't train something in a certain way, it's not going to be that way. So we have to train it in different ways. Okay, good. So we foam roll, we loosen the tissue. We're warming up the tissue by training the elasticity of it to make that tissue respond better to everyday life because we don't get hurt in the gym. We get hurt when we step on the sidewalk or ankle rolls. Like it's just, you get out of the car and you hurt your back. Those are the type of things when you get hurt, and the elasticity training is really important to help prevent that. Now we're going to go into some stretching for the lower back. So the type of stretching I like to do, my preference is resistance stretching, PR resistance stretching. We're going to start with the quad stretch. That is probably my number one back stretch. It is my number one back stretch. So you're going to come to a wall. All right, so Instagram, there's a wall back here. And you might need a towel to put under your foot. The closer your knee is to the wall, the more intense this is going to be. So you might need to bring that foot or bring that knee way away from the wall to make this manageable. And then you're going to sit up, all right? You can also do this on the couch. This is also called a couch stretch, so you can actually use the softness of the couch. Make sure you have enough cushion under your knee. If balance is an issue, hold on to a chair, something, so you don't have to worry about the balance. You're going to feel a stretch already. So what you're going to do, you're going to take the foot onto the wall, push away from the wall. You're going to turn this muscle on. We're going to strength train this muscle. Bring it back, push into the wall, and your whole body moves forward. All right? Sometimes I see this. This moves forward. You got to move the hip forward. So push into the wall. Keep pushing into the wall. Your momentum is going this way. Keep pressing into the wall with your foot, and now draw back your body. Squeeze your butt under. Tuck that butt and flatten the front of the hip. Again, push away. Keep pushing away in this direction, but you're fighting yourself as you go back. And we're going to do that one more time. Push away, keep pushing away, and then draw the hips and the whole body back. Good. Bring the hands down, take a step back, and come out of that. And then we're going to switch sides. So I'm going to change the angle, see it a little differently. The closer the knee is to the wall, the more intense it's going to be. Make sure your hips aren't hiking. So usually the leg that's supporting you, sometimes that hip will hike up. And that's that muscle I was talking about, we rolled earlier. So push that hip down. Push the foot into the wall, and you're going to move all the way forward. You should feel the quad contract. Push. Relax. Bring it back. Again, push. Keep pushing forward as you start to draw the body back, tucking the butt, flattening the front of the hip. Repeat. Push forward. Keep pushing forward. And then draw back. One more time. Push forward. Keep pushing forward as you draw the hips back, tucking that butt under. So big stretch for that quad. Take a step back, bring it forward. I would say that upwards of 80% of people, that's going to be a really hard stretch for them to do, which means you need to do it. So that is lower back stretch number one for me. Now, we need to go into the opposite muscle and make sure that's working as well. That's the great thing about the Kihara problem solving, is that we don't just look at the muscle that's hurting, we look at the muscles that could be contributing to, all the muscles that could be contributing to that. So now let's take a step forward. We're going to target this muscle right here, this medial hamstring, so back and inside. So similar to what we just did, walk your foot in front of your knee. If you need to hold on to something, that works. If your balance is the issue. We're going to contract this muscle first. So press into the floor with the foot. Draw your body towards your foot. You should feel this muscle contract. If you don't feel that muscle contract, use less pressure. And then you should feel that muscle contract. Don't worry if you don't, because after the stretch, you probably will. Don't think that you need a lot of resistance here. Less is more. You really want to feel where the muscle is working. Keep pressing into the floor with your foot. Extend the hips back and start to straighten the front leg. You don't have to straighten it all the way, but where you're getting this stretch. Pull the body forward, contract that muscle. See, I'm starting to feel it in the outer. I'm feeling a little bit on the outer side. So I'm going to back off on the resistance and then to really try to key in on this medial hamstring. I'm going to change my angle a little bit. Pull forward. I think I was a little too wide, so you can play with the angle too. Keep pulling forward as you extend back. There we go. So now I'm starting to feel that a little bit more. One more time. Pull forward, and then keep pulling forward. Keep pressing the foot into the floor as you pull back, and really try to tune in right in that area where we should be feeling it. All right, switch sides. So play with the angle, play with the amount of resistance that you're using. Walk the foot in front of your knee. Push down with the foot. Pull the body forward. Activate this medial hamstring. Relax. Do it again. And one side will probably work better than the other. That's pretty normal. All right, so keep pressing down. So we always turn on the muscle first before we stretch it. And then go shoot those hips back and go into that medial hamstring stretch. And then pull forward. Keep pulling forward as you push the hips back. And again, pull forward. Now, I just felt like a click behind my knee. That's pretty normal too. That's just releasing some tension. It's weird to feel. It's kind of, but should be pretty safe. If you don't freak you out, then don't go as far. One more time. And pull them back. Okay. So we're looking at two of the muscle groups that could be contributing to lower back pain. Now, the person that actually requested this specifically was saying that this felt super tight. So we're going to do a stretch for that. We're going to stretch that QL out. So just have a seat, whatever's comfortable for you. You can do the standing as well. We're going to take your arm up over your head and we're going to target this area. So you're going to round into this area. So pull your elbow forward and towards the opposite knee, okay? So we're going here, and you should feel stretched from here. Start in that stretch position. Push your elbow into your hand and then pull yourself up. And repeat that 2 more times. Create that contraction. We're going to do that 3 times. This will help the neck a little bit too. Now keep pushing your elbow into your hand, lengthen the side that you're stretching, and pull slightly forward as you go into the stretch. Then come back up and repeat that. Lengthen and then pull slightly forward. And then do that one more time. Keep the contraction, keep that tension as you're moving, full range of motion, whatever that is for you. And then back up. Good. Switching sides. Let's start in a stretch position. Press your elbow into your hand, contract and lift up. Repeat that 2 more times. Contract and lift up. And last one. Contract and lift up. Keep contracting. Lengthen that side you're stretching. Pull slightly forward and towards the opposite knee. Push up and repeat. 2 more times to stretch it out. And then last one, contract to lift and contract to stretch. And release. So those muscles also attach to the top of the pelvis, which can affect your lower back. Now, one more thing, we're going to do a strengthening for the sides of the hips, which is usually pretty weak. And so if you're walking a lot and your back bothers you, this is going to be really great for you to do. So you're going to stand up. Okay. And then we're going to focus on one side of the hip. All right. So what we're gonna do, you're contracting this muscle to lift the opposite. We do not want to use the lower back area. Okay? So if you feel it in the lower back area, that's not where you should be feeling it. You're going to modify. So go ahead and place your hand on your hip. And almost like you're pushing this hip down, this whole leg down. You're going to squeeze this hip and allow this leg to lift up and down. It can be very subtle. You should feel this muscle contracting as you lift up and down. If you feel the muscles working in your back, then these are weak. These are not turned on. And the muscles in the back are actually working for you, for these muscles. So you're just gonna do that little hip lift, Now, if you're not feeling it, bend this leg that you're not working, and you're going to go even smaller, up and down. And this is the muscle moving this side. So I hope that makes sense. Give me a thumbs up if that makes sense. You should start to feel this burn. If you don't feel it, maybe shift your weight back a little bit, relax your butt, relax your quads, and see if you can get that muscle working. Then hold that up. Hold, isometric hold. Without leaning, like this. So straight up and down, you should feel that muscle working. And then relax. Okay, switching sides. You can start with the non-working leg bent, and then we're just going to lift up and down. So that first one, my glutes contracted, the back of my glutes contracted. So I know this is not working like it should, so I'm just going to go smaller to where I start to feel this contracting. Start small, because usually a shorter range of motion, you can really get that turned on, and then maybe increase the range of motion as you start to feel it come online. So this is really good for strengthening the hips, and then maybe straight leg. So yeah, mine's starting to come online, which could be contributing to my sciatica, but this is not working like it should. And so when I walk, my sciatica has actually been not so great. So this muscle is probably weak, and I need to work on that. So you should be feeling that muscle work, contract, and then hold. Try not to tense up the quad or the butt. Just really let that muscle work. Hold, isometric hold, and relax. So that should actually burn quite a bit. Shake it out. Okay, guys, so that's the lower back stuff for today, the stretching and the foam rolling. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask me. I'm really good about responding. Direct messages, if you want to direct message me, that works well, or leave a comment and communicate what issues you're having. I'd be more than happy to try to help you out, do the best I can, but otherwise, that's it for today. So hopefully that helped your lower back, and we did a little bit of neck as well. If you have any requests for next week, leave a comment below. Things you can do to help out is to share this, make comments, like it. All those great things do help rank me higher. So please don't hesitate to leave some comments and likes and shares, and saves. Saves are really important as well on Instagram. So thank you so much for joining, and I hope you feel a little bit better, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.